Alien Admiral watches human child play Starship Simulator and realizes it's deadly serious. The war began with a laugh so small, so human, that an alien admiral of the most feared fleet in the galaxy almost ignored it. Almost. Admiral Kreth's log, secure channel. Observation of Terran juvenile behavior. At first glance, irrelevant. But something is wrong. Something is dangerous. Before the story begins, hit like. If you stand with humanity, comment your theory as it unfolds. Follow so you don't miss what happens next. And repost this story with your friends to spread the warning. The simulator. The child sat cross-legged on the floor of a Terran Academy chamber, surrounded by flickering holograms. Her hands, small, soft, fragile, moved with lightning speed over the controls of a Starship Simulator. Alien Admiral Kreth watched from behind the observation glass, his armored bulk casting a shadow over the room. He had come here expecting to confirm his empire's superiority. A child's game could not matter, and yet, his ridged brow furrowed. The simulator was no simple game. It replicated galactic fleet combat, precisely. Positioning, maneuvering, electronic warfare. Things that took Kreth's officers decades to master. The girl laughed again, and without hesitation, she executed a maneuver no trained admiral of Kreth's people would ever attempt. Her simulated fleet cut through an enemy formation, sacrificing 2 ships to cripple the enemy flagship. Casualties? Acceptable. Victory? Swift, the alien admiral's second-in-command, whispered, uneasy. Admiral, does the child know what she's doing? Kreth's throat tightened. Yes, she knows exactly what she's doing. The watching eyes that night, Kreth could not sleep. He replayed the child's battles again and again. The Terrans called it a simulator, but Kreth saw something else. A training ground, a hidden academy disguised as play. He dug deeper. Across Terra, thousands of human children played similar games. Fleet strategy, insurgency operations, planetary defense. By the time they reached adulthood, they would have fought 1,000 wars. In simulation, his empire, his officers trained for 50 years before they ever touched a command chair. But they trained by doctrine. Rigid, inflexible, perfect. Predictable humans? They trained by chaos, by laughter, by failure, by games. And then, his blood ran cold. Kreth realized the truth. The humans weren't teaching their children games. They were preparing them for war. The test Kreth arranged a private experiment. He summoned 3 of his best captains, veterans of real battles, and fed them into the simulator against the Terran child. They scoffed. A test against a primitive juvenile? Pointless. Within 7 minutes, their fleets burned. Within 15, their command ships drifted, powerless. The child leaned back, chewing a stick of sweet gum, and grinned. Good game. The alien captains raged, demanding rematches. They fought again and again, and every time, the child adapted. Every time, she exploited their doctrines. The last captain slammed his clawed fist into the console. She is a monster. No, Kreth whispered, staring at the girl. She is human. The War Council Kreth reported to the High War Council of his people. He told them of the simulators, the training, the terrifying adaptability of human youth. They laughed. They dismissed him. Children's games do not win wars, said the High Warlord. Our empire has conquered 100 stars. The Terrans are fragile prey. Kreth begged them to listen, but arrogance drowned his warning. The council declared, prepare the fleet. We will invade Terra tomorrow, and in that moment Admiral Kreth knew his empire was already dead. Fire over Earth. The invasion began with brilliance. Massive alien warships ripped through human orbital defenses. Cities trembled. Panic spread. Humanity seemed broken, but then something happened. Civilian channels lit up with coordinated instructions. Orbital defenses recalibrated. Swarms of drones repositioned. Fleets of old, outdated ships moved with shocking precision. Kreth's senses froze. His mind reeled. The humans were fighting like the child. They were executing the same insane maneuvers. Sacrificing ships with no hesitation. Baiting enemy formations into traps. Turning chaos into strategy, not generals, not admirals, civilians, gamers, children. Every single one of them had trained for this moment, without even knowing it. And Kreth understood. The simulator was never just a game. It was humanity's secret weapon. The collapsed alien fleets began to falter. Rigid doctrine crumbled against chaos-born strategy. A squadron of human fighters used a maneuver Kreth had seen the child perform, a suicidal crossfire wedge. It tore through one of the Empire's dreadnoughts. A group of civilian freighters executed a feint, deliberately powering down, luring alien battleships into range of hidden artillery. Every tactic, every trick, every unorthodox maneuver. Kreth recognized them all, because he had seen them in the simulator. The humans weren't just fighting, they were playing, and they were winning. The last transmission as Kreth's flagship burned. His officers screamed for orders. "Admiral, what do we do?" He closed his eyes. He thought of the girl's laugh, of the way her hands danced across the console, of how easily she had destroyed everything his empire thought invincible. "Do?" he said softly. "We die. Because we taught our children doctrine, and they taught theirs war." The last thing Admiral Kreth saw was a Terran battleship ramming through his command bridge, and in the flicker of death he almost thought he heard the child's laughter, and so the galaxy learned too late. Humanity had been preparing its children for war since the moment they learned how to play. What others dismissed as games were battlefields. What others mocked as toys were weapons, and what others feared least would one day become the most dangerous force in the stars. If this story shook you, or if you want to say thanks for it, then you know what to do. Hit like, show you stand with humanity. Comment your theory, or just drop something simple like, great story, best story, keep it up, or even play to win. Every word helps boost this story. Follow so you don't miss what comes next. And most importantly, repost or share this story with your friends. That's the best way to say thank you.